Hello folks, I've got some updates on stuff I'm doing with this channel here in 2026. Last time I really thought about this was back in September, and some things have settled into place and some things are a little different. Don't worry, it's still going to be art stuff. But first, to recap since last time, I've had a little bit of a job change, so to speak. I'm going to be working on my own projects for a bit and actually formalizing some things about my little small business. Some of that will remain a secret for a while, but I think you'll enjoy seeing that when it's ready. This overall change has led to a bit of a stress reduction. So I've been able to not only reduce how much I have to focus on day job stuff, but also be a little more in control of what I'm doing there. And I have a little more control over how many hobbies I've taken on. I've cleaned my plate up, I've managed to call back a lot of activities, take some breaks, do stuff for myself. And I've even managed to keep doing some things that I said I might have to stop, like the calendar. I found a clever way to keep that one going that I'm happy with, and those of you who have DM'd me in support of that means a lot. It's one of those things where I don't really know how many people use it. Anyway, I also mentioned last year that I wanted to expand the scope of the videos I make a bit, while at the same time trying to work on them a little less. And I think a lot of that's still true, but, well, we'll get to that in just a little bit. Some of my recent stuff, though, you've seen has been that. Shorts have been a mixture of silly, short, shitposty things and some sort of storytime rambles. I see a lot of folks have liked those. I actually really like making those too, and I'm definitely going to keep doing them. They are fun little ways for me to just ramble silly thoughts out and have some creative editing to show along the way. The long-form videos have started to get somewhat more involved, but a little bit less frequent. And you might have also seen that I've started to draw my own thumbnails. I kind of had this realization that, like, hey, I'm doing a whole art channel. Why am I not, like, showing some of that in thumbnails? So there you go. Gonna keep doing that as long as reasonably possible because I think it's a little more authentic, and also, frankly, like, in the sea of shocked faces staring and pointing at words on thumbnails, this stands out, and it shows up in my YouTube metrics like that too, like 2 to 3 times higher amount of people clicking on the hand-drawn thumbnails. So that's pretty awesome. Anyway, what we're looking at for 2026. The shorts, I'm keeping this stuff up. If you've seen some of my shorts lately, expect more of that. It's a really fun place to experiment. I might have some art stuff in there too. I've done a little bit of that in the past, but expect the shorts about art to be sort of remixes of my longer form videos. So if you don't like watching shorts, you don't really have to. They'll be in the long form stuff too. But if you do want that sort of flavor, well, I gotcha. It's right there. They're a lot of fun. I do realize that sort of splits things into 2 audiences that I've got now. A lot of you are here for the original art thoughts, and that's great. I love you for that. A lot of you have found me through some of the shorts, and I love you for that too. I like making both kinds of stuff, so I'm gonna keep doing both. And if I can manage to grab folks from the shorts side to look at the art videos and go, oh, I wanna try doing art, then hey, I'll have succeeded. So shorts is another way for me to sort of further my goal of bringing more people into art, showing people that they can be creative. The long form videos, one of these you're looking at now, still the art stuff. Still motivation, still skill tips, tutorials when I feel like it's right, and Q&As. Q&As, actually. We'll do one soon. As a treat for watching this, I will put the link to the Q&A forum on screen right now, but it won't be in the description. Next video, I'll actually announce this, and it won't be first come, first serve if there's a ton of people. But if you've been eager to get in a question or to start thinking of one, here's your chance. The usual topics that we'll go over are on the screen. There's sort of like these 3 areas of things that people tend to get stuck with in art and want to ask questions about, but if you feel like you've got another question that's a little unrelated, you know what? Feel free. Do that too. One of these days, I'll probably just do a general Q&A as well. I know a lot of you have been curious about some of the non-art stuff, like how I make these videos. I've also had the idea of some behind-the-scenes stuff on my mind too. Maybe I'll actually get to that soon. My long-form videos will have a deeper focus. Now, this might seem opposite of what I said back last year where I said I wanted to, like, work on them a little less, rein that in a little bit, but in a manner of speaking, I've realized this almost is working on them less because my videos kind of start with a really deep focus to begin with. I'll sometimes have a really long voice note or script or bunch of notes, and then I end up editing the scripts back a lot to condense it down because I don't want to waste your time. But sometimes when I'm editing those scripts, I feel like a lot of that original voice, that character of what I was putting into that script has gotten lost. And I'm trying to work on that a little bit. You're kind of seeing an example of that right now. I'm actually just voice recording what I'm saying in my kitchen at the moment, and I'm going to transcribe it. And then I'm going to do some very light editing where I had to, like, pause to get a drink from the fridge or something, but it's going to be a little bit more authentic. as if I was doing this live in front of a camera. You're going to hear a little bit more of the raw me. The scripts have always been 100% me, but the editing removes some of that charm sometimes. I'm going to try to find a balance so that I can respect your time, but also preserve a lot of the character that's in a lot of my original thoughts. So, the videos will probably be a little bit longer, and yeah, probably a little bit less frequent. Sort of on the cadence that we're seeing right now. I used to actually target getting a video out every 10 days, and that's just... oof, I managed to do that for a long time, but it's not sustainable, especially with how long these videos have been getting. And ever since I stopped giving myself deadlines like that, I have been pretty much making videos almost at the same rate, but I just don't have the stress of it anymore. So, whoops, freebie. I'll possibly be branching out into some non-art stuff too. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with that. It'll probably be off of the Canyon's Clips playlist, but still on this channel, and it won't be too far out, like, I don't know, don't expect me to go into how to paint your house or something. But then again, there can be creative things with that, and I do still need to paint my living room. I am actually working on the next real video here today as well. Already did that voice memo. That's gonna go up probably later this week because the week after, I'll be going to Nordic FuzzCon. So if any of you critters will be in Sweden next week, I will see you there. I will always give hugs. You don't have to be shy. You can just run up and yell Canyon, and if I've got stickers on me, I'll give you some of those. Or if you just want a hug, that's awesome too. Here's my little thing of how you can find me. Anywho, for the moment, keep your art and creative practice up. I'm excited to keep at this too. I know the past couple years have been super fucking crazy in the world, and I'll be real, I'm nervous. But I want to provide a little bit of escapism for your own mental health and mine. That does not mean that I will allow hatred to exist in this space. If I see any of that, I will stomp it out. And if you think this is a political comment, I guess it is, but I've definitely been clear on my values. Keep politics out is not something I can be comfortable with when half the things I talk about become politicized. Hell, this is something that people choose to make political. I think most folks in this space have been awesome people though, and it brings me joy to help be your support. We unfortunately live in interesting times, but let's make our creative spaces interesting in our favor. I'll see ya. Chase that passion.